Okay, hello. It's me, it's Elyse. I'll just wait to see if there's a few people joining me. Just wait a couple of minutes to see if there's anyone joining me. Right, I've got one watcher. Hello. Hello Lorna. Can you just tell me if you can see me all right? If you're there. Hi Lindsay. Can you see and hear me okay? Hi Becky. Bonjour. Hi Becca. Right, well I'll get going. Just give me a shout if you're struggling to hear or see me. It's telling me that my connection is a bit weak. Oh, great, Lindsay, thank you. Anyway, just let me know if there's any problem. Thanks, Becky, for sharing my video. That's just told me that. So, gonna get going. We've got discussion today about the medical benefits of baby wearing. So before we dig into that, I'll just tell you who I am. My name is Elyse. I'm French Canadian. I now live in the north of England in beautiful sunny Lancashire, as it's well known. Hi, Busy. I'm mum to two little cherubs. Louis is the latest one. He's nearly 6 months old. I've got Rose, who's just turned 2. And I'm also a stepmom to Simon, who's 12. I've been baby wearing since Rose was pretty much a baby, and I've never looked back. And I'm very excited to be part of the Joy and Joe family this year. I think it's a fantastic brand to work with. Obviously, they make great wraps, but not only that, I find the ethics and the work they put behind the wrap, you can really feel the love. So yeah, no, I'm really honored and pleased to be part of that big family. Hello, Busy. So there you go. That's a little bit about me. As you can tell, wraps are really helpful when I want to get something done. Louis is currently asleep, and Margaret Luke that I got back from my friend a few days ago, and I love it. So if you do have any specific questions about the medical side of baby wearing, please write them down. I'll try to answer as much as I can throughout the video, but obviously it's quite a vast subject, and I've not got in-depth knowledge for everything, so I'll try to answer everything. If I can't answer it today, I'll research it and try to get the best answer for you later on. So just give me a little bit of time, and I'll definitely get back to you. Hi, Louise. So I'll start with two quotes that I found through my research on the medical side of baby wearing. I didn't come across baby wearing as a doctor. If anything, the more westernized society will push you towards things that are more like cots and prams and things like that, and there's nothing wrong with this, but I think as a mum, I found the more natural and instinctive way of parenting that I didn't know about, and obviously it just works a little bit better for me. So it's definitely not through medicine that I found more information. So a great quote by Dr. Rosie Knowles in her latest book is, "A baby's natural habitat is his mother's body." And I think baby wearing really shows you that and empowers that. Hi, Isabella. And I think that's a very powerful quote, because really when the baby is out of the womb, it's not quite ready to be in the natural environment. That's why more and more people are talking about the fourth trimester, that human babies, unlike other mammals, they're not ready to be in the outside world. But to get to that stage of being ready, they wouldn't be able to get out of the womb, basically. So that's why it's so important to keep them close to us. And they spend 9 months in our womb. Yes, the fourth trimester, exactly, Lindsay. So they spend so much time in our womb. You can't expect them to be suddenly ready and independent from day one. It is so important. And the second quote I found from Prescott, that was in 1996, from the Journal of Pre- and Perinatal Psychology. The single most important child-rearing practice to be adopted for the development of emotional and socially healthy infants and children is to carry the infant on the body of the caretaker all day long. Hi, Jessica. So I think that's a very powerful quote again. To basically, babies need to be close to the caregiver. They need to feel the human body. And that's in order to develop physically and, more importantly, emotionally. So, Lindsay, you say, how long should the fourth trimester be? From what I've read, I think it's about 3 months, give or take. Some babies are a bit more ready. I'm not sure I can remember quite what happened with Rose. There's quite a lot going on, and I think as a first mum, I was struggling. But I think around 3 or 4 months, I could really tell that Louis was a bit more awake and not needing me as much, or needed to be on me as much. He still needs me a lot. Obviously, he's very little, but I think around 3 months, they say. And there's a great article about the fourth trimester by Sarah Ockwell Smith. I can find the link and post it in the comments once I'm finished. But I think that's a brilliant way of basically saying that babies need to be held. It's completely normal for them to be held, and it's just part of their natural development. So I don't know if people have preconceived ideas or questions. There's a few things that I've put notes because I didn't really want to forget anything, but the main points I got, basically there's benefits for babies and benefits for parents as well to baby wear. So I'll go through a few, but main ones are breastfeeding, attachment, crying, kangaroo care and skin to skin, the physical development, emotional development, sleep, and the stress on parents and postnatal depression. So they're the main ones I wanted to cover. So if there's anything else, I know Zara mentioned yesterday or the day before she wanted to hear a little bit about fever and illness. So I'll touch base a little bit on that later on. So I've researched a few references, and they all seem to cross-reference same studies and evidence to discuss about the benefits of baby wearing. So the main ones I've looked at were Baby Wearing UK, but unfortunately the links were not working when I checked a couple of days ago, so I'm not sure if they changed something on the website. Baby Wearing International, La Leche League, and Dr. Sears, the couple that done quite a lot of research on attachment parenting. Hello, Katie. So, first of all, if we talk about breastfeeding, so it's been shown quite extensively that baby wearing promotes longer breastfeeding. If babies are worn for at least an hour a day for the first month of life, and that was shown in an Italian study by Contissimo, Filosa, and Tagliamonte. Sorry, I can't pronounce that very well. I'm sorry if there's any Italian. That was in 2012. 100 women. Obviously, it's not a very big study, but it still showed that at 2 months, if you're warm for at least an hour a day, you're nearly twice as likely to be still breastfeeding, so 1.8 times. And at 5 months, it's nearly 3 times as likely to be breastfeeding if you're baby wearing. So it was shown that really, yes, it's a small study, but it's a simple intervention. It's quite easy to show how to baby wear, and it promotes breastfeeding, and it's quite significant that you're 3 times as much as likely to be breastfeeding after 5 months. And it's been shown that long term there's basically more chance of you breastfeeding. So that's a simple thing that baby wearing can enable you to do. And it's sorry, my son is a little bit sick. I'll have to take him down in a minute. So the way it does it is basically skin to skin, even if it's not direct skin to skin, but body contact increases the level of oxytocin, which is the love hormone, the calm and content hormone. And the more oxytocin you've got, the less stressed you are. And oxytocin promotes the breast milk, the breast production, and also being relaxed. And it's shown that if you're relaxed, you're more likely to produce milk, and stress really affects your milk production. So that's one reason. The other reason is that you can see your baby. It's right close to you. You know the cues. You can see if your baby's fussy because he's a bit hungry, right on the boob and back in the sling if needed. So that's quite easy thing to do. So that's what I found on breastfeeding, and to me it makes total sense as well. So I don't know if there's anyone that's got any experience to share about breastfeeding. No, so I'll the second bit that has been shown to help is that on the crying. It was shown in a few studies, two studies, one in 1986 in Montreal, and another one in 95 by R.H. Largo. I don't know which where that one was done. Both basically, if the baby is warm for at least 3 hours a day, less likely to cry. Again, it's all to do with recognizing the cues and having probably a closer bonding and closer relationship with your baby very early on. So less crying throughout the day, and certainly less fussiness and less crying in the evening. Now, those results, I've not found the full studies, but they were not necessarily replicable. So I wouldn't really say that it's the strongest point, but it was shown in a few studies that the crying was a little bit better. Louise is telling me that baby wearing made breastfeeding so much easier in the first few months that you could feed on the go and didn't necessarily have to stop, and that's a great point. I found personally that early on I was not necessarily comfortable to feed in a carrier. I had to establish my breastfeeding really well, and same establish the baby wearing or the carrying. But it can help. So I think there's someone that wants to join the discussion. Say hello. Isabella is saying that it's helped her colicky baby to settle when he was really distressed, and it's been shown to help colicky babies. I don't know if you've heard about I'll just pop him down and can carry on talking. Whoop. Hello. This is Louie. And there's also one reason why it can help colicky and unsettled baby to be a bit more comfortable, is because the carrying reproduce the womb, and in reproduce, baby can hear the carriers, heart sounds, they've got the motion, they've got the warmth of the caregiver as well. So totally, Olivia is saying that less crying baby also help, less stress, less postnatal depression. So I'll talk about that a bit later, why it does, and it's basically very obvious to realize. So I'll continue to kangaroo care. So kangaroo care has been advocated mainly. There's been a lot of research in Germany mainly on kangaroo care, skin to skin, mainly for premature babies, but I think that could probably be easily be extended to full-term babies and healthy babies. Oh, hi Katie, and hi Claire. Hi Aisha. Thanks all for watching. Yes, definitely the positioning helps Katie for colicky baby. There's something, well, with the, I don't know if you've heard of the, I think there's 5 S's that help for colicky baby. So there's the sucking reflex, or breastfeeding or a dummy, the sh sound, the being on the side or on the stomach, the, now I'm forgetting the other one, the sucking, the being on the side, hi Elodie, the sucking, the stomach, and, but I think personally I would add the S for the colicky baby, because I think, yes, it can help to get rid of air, and for if there's a bit of reflux, but if there's air in the stomach, the position will help to get rid of it. But it's also yeah, comfortable position. So if I go back to kangaroo care, so in Germany it's routine that they give kangaroo care t-shirts or cloth for premature babies to be worn in. And it's been shown that actually it could be best than being in an incubator for transfer from room to room or hospital to hospital. Babies have more stable sleep patterns. The discharge earlier from hospital. They've got a lower rate of severe illnesses. There's a higher prevalence and duration of breastfeeding, as I've discussed before, a better weight gain, and also the heart rate is more stable. So I think if we go back to what I said earlier, when babies are born, that oxytocin hormone, that love and care and content hormone, is secreted by the body, by the mum's body when the baby is born, and that can actually be given to the baby through the skin. Some of it is transmitted through the skin, and that helps keeping the heart rate and the temperature, to stabilize that, and basically it helps baby having an understanding, and it's not really an understanding, I'm not finding the right words. It regularize, that's the word I was looking for. So regularize the baby through the mother's hormones, basically. So Katie's telling me, sorry, I'm just having a look at Luca was a preemie. I wish I'd been offered kangaroo care. Yeah, I think Katrina Shepherd's done a lot of work locally for us to do kangaroo care in hospital, which is great. But yeah, it's not routine that parents baby wear in the UK, and kangaroo care is not routine in hospital either. I'm not sure, Lindsay, they apply to micro preemies. I'll have to look into it. I think I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look up the details for that. I think, I'm not sure, very little babies, but I would suspect so. But again, it depends how stable they are. So it's a bit outside of my knowledge. I'll have to look that up. And also that study showed that for parents, there was less stress, less depression, a better self-esteem, better sense of fulfillment, and better interaction with their child. So I think that was quite interesting study. So if I carry on to, so the last 3 points are physical, emotional, and physical and emotional development. So I'll start with the physical side. So there's been shown to be substantial benefits for the normal hip development. It's still quite early to say that it would prevent hip dysplasia, but it's been certainly shown to be protective. And if there's baby wearing in environments where there's no routine or widespread hip dysplasia screening, baby wearing could well be a good prevention. It helps to develop strong neck muscles because babies are upright from quite early on. And basically, baby wearing qualifies as tummy time. And certainly from my personal experience, I've not really put Louis on his tummy, but from about 6 weeks, I was able to hold his head quite high. He's quite a strong baby, but he's never really needed tummy time. But then from early on, he quite liked it. So I don't know if it's due to baby wearing or it's just how he is. But it's been shown that they do develop their neck muscles quite quickly from having to be upright and carried all the time. So Sears and Sears in 2001 also have shown that being worn in a sling stimulates the infant vestibular system, which is in the inner ear, and it's what deals with your sense of balance. And that's been shown. Well, the studies show that it helps baby to breathe, grow better, regulate the physiology, as I said before, and also improves the motor development. On the physical side of things, it's also there's theory that baby wearing could help the immune system. Oh, hi, Catherine. Through the contact with with mum's skin's bacteria, and that's also why the skin to skin very early on after the birth is so important. So because the baby is very quickly put in contact with normal bacteria in the environment, and it's able to build his own immune function. But again, there's not much research about that. As we talked a little bit before, it helps for reflux because it's a natural preventive position for reflux if you're upright. That's one of the first things that we tell parents. If there's a bit of reflux, you raise the head of the bed. But if you're in a sling, you're already in a good position to fight the reflux. Constipation could also be helped because the M shape actually, the seat, the M seat, knee to knee, will help the stool to pass, basically. There's also less what's called plagiocephalia, so flat head, because babies are let down on their head a bit less. There's some, I think it's a Japanese study that's looking into abuse prevention as well, potentially because the baby is close to mum and mum's got less stress. So interesting thoughts, certainly. Not everything has been shown, but you can certainly see how baby wearing can bring all those things. I'm just going to look at the time, make sure not going over. So it's nearly half an hour, so I'm going to try and wrap things up fairly soon. So I think the strongest point I've found through, breastfeeding for me was quite surprising how much baby wearing can promote breastfeeding, but the emotional development is helped so much through baby wearing. So a lot of points that I've found. So I'll just go through them because obviously I think a lot of things will make sense to you. So basically, there's an immediate response from the caregiver. If the baby fusses, you're able to respond, give food, change the nappy, make them sleep because it's the best position to sleep in. Who wouldn't? Oh, thank you. I can see a lot of love. Thank you. I don't know if it's Becca or Bissy, but yes, I can see a lot of thumbs up and a lot of love. So thank you for sending me. So if I carry on the emotional development, so there's an immediate response from the caregiver. There's a lot of interaction when the baby is in the sling, especially on your front. You can look in the eye, you can interact, you can smile, you can talk to your baby, you can sing, they can see what's going on. They're up above and they're at the same height as adults, so they can see everything from the same perspective as you, which I think is amazing. It's also very reassuring for babies to be close to you if you go in a new place, because they feel safe, they feel they're close to you, and they can overcome fears of being somewhere new by being close to you and being able to see you, and also feel your own heart rate and your own emotions. So just a little bit like pheromones work. I think oxytocin works on babies. Also, it shapes their personality, the interaction that you've got. That's it, I think. I've talked about seeing the world from a similar point of view, reassure through physical contact, and as I talked a little bit before, it replicates the womb experience. So the noise of the body, the heart rate, the closeness, and the soothing motion that you have. I'll have to look. Hi, Hazel, Olivia. I do think personally that there is a link between even older babies, because I was just about to say that it's quite soothing even for toddlers to be worn when they get overstimulated, but it's also a good way of interacting with adults. And although it's good to interact with children, it's all good to be part of adult conversation. Right. So I'll go on to the last bit, the benefits for parents. So we talked a little bit about how oxytocin is the love hormone, the calm and content hormone, basically the opposite of the fight and flight hormone. So basically, sorry, I think I might be a bit hungry, so I'll see if... Speaking of fussy baby, so if parents and caregivers are able to respond to baby's cues immediately when they're baby wearing, when they're fussy, they're tired, it makes them feel more confident. Just wants a bit of attention. He likes to join in the party. Okay. So if your baby cries less, if you feel that you can answer the cues and your baby's less fussy, you feel more confident, you feel less stressed, so less likely to suffer from PMD. So it's all a cycle that basically makes you feel more confident. Also, baby wearing makes you hands-free most of the time. When you use baby wearing, when your baby's in a sling, you're hands-free. You can do tasks around the house, you can have a cup of tea, you can eat hands-free, and it's all things that basically help you look after yourself. And although you might not think that looking after your house is looking after yourself, if it decreases your stress because you know that things have been done, then it helps to decrease the stress, so decrease the cortisol levels. There's more of the content hormone, oxytocin, and so all that creates a better environment for parents and baby. So yeah, so basically in overall the oxytocin facilitate bonding, less PMD, less stress, and it helps milk production. But also oxytocin, as I said before, it really helps to regulate body's temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate. So in a lot of ways, it's really good. So if I link that to a question that Zara asked me a few days ago about fever, baby wearing, if you, especially skin to skin is good, but even if it's not skin to skin, even through clothes, you do have that release of oxytocin when you're baby wearing, and that helps regulate the fever, and that's why the fever can come down when you're baby wearing. It's best if it's skin to skin, and I'm not saying that they don't need ibuprofen or liquid paracetamol if they're ill, but that can be used as part of it as well. Right, so I think that's wrapping it up, and we're just a little bit over half an hour, so I don't really want to keep you too much. So I think Becca or BC is saying that babies who are born tend to be involved more in conversation because they're higher up and spoken to and spoken sooner, in her personal opinion. Yeah, and I think that's definitely true. So I think that's me done on the medical benefits. It's quite a wide subject, as I said, but basically, overall, I think it definitely benefits baby wearing. It's good for physical and emotional development, good attachment and bonding with babies, less stress and less postnatal depression for parents, and I do say parents because I think we need to include dads as well. It's definitely it can make dads more involved as well, because they don't need to be, they can wear the baby when he or she's asleep, and it's a great way to get dads involved. Less fussiness, and I think it's more again to do with the emotional development, the response that you've got to your babies, and better sleep. I think better sleep, it's probably all to do with the oxytocin. The sleep is better regulated because the baby's close to you and it responds to your sleep cycles. So I think that's what I can say. I did touch a little bit about the hip dysplasia, but I'll speak more in depth later in the year about hip dysplasia and baby wearing, and hopefully I'll try to get more in depth and more information, especially about that. And Lindsay, I'll get back to you about the micropreemie for skin to skin and kangaroo care. I think we'll say bye-bye for now. Oh, right, we've got a gift from one of our viewers. Right. Well, I'll ask a question, and I'm trying to think. Okay, if that'll be for people that have listened from. I'll just ask you a question. The first person to get it right will get the gift from Joy and Joe. So, what's let's see. So I've mentioned a hormone, love hormone, content hormone, that's secreted when you baby wear. It starts with an O. Can anyone tell me what the name of this hormone is? The first person to mention the hormone. You don't have to get the... Yes, Lindsay, it's oxytocin. So Lindsay wins the mystery gift. Hazel is second. Okay. So Lindsay is... yeah, Lindsay's got the gift, and we're going to say bye-bye. I'm going to go and look after this little man. Great to see you, everyone. Thank you for watching. It was great to be with you. Okay, bye-bye.